And that brings us to the part of the show where I always say thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you. Oh, wait, no, we're not at that part of the show yet, are we?
Your brain's already back to Red Dead Redemption, isn't it?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Project Talk, your favorite 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Eastern Seaboard live stream talk show podcast. I don't even know what to categorize this as.
Couple of
Anyway, what's that?
I was gonna say something that's borderline not family friendly. So let's
Oh yeah,
just
let's not do that.
couple of b-holes just chatting.
For those of you who do not know, I am Glenn from Fun King 3D, and with me, as always, of course, is my brother from another mother, James from Print and Play.
Oh, that's me.
Okay, that's all the energy I have for today.
I just realized.
What?
Well, so as you know, I worked on a lot of videos this weekend, like a lot. I had actually started the fourth one, thinking I had a couple of hours before things were going to change. So it's on a computer that's usually on the desk behind me, and as you can see, I took the monitor off of it and just sat it like upside down, right there.
So in other words, your video is going to be upside down when you release it.
This is a story all about how my screen got flipped,
Yeah,
turned upside down.
what is wrong with this video? It's all upside down. So let's see. It is what, the 13th? 13th. Oh my gosh. So
Just
13th of November, which puts us about halfway through the month of November.
Yep.
We did not have a stream last week because I was at Orlando Maker Fair.
Yep.
And it was amazing. Had a great time, and I'll cover all that in a little bit. I almost, because I got home early enough that I could have streamed. We could have, so I thought about, like, when we got home, I was going to reach out to you and say, hey, do you want to stream? But I was so exhausted. I ended up laying down for, just 5 minutes and then got up like 3 hours later. So I was absolutely wrecked, but it was a really good time. And I look forward to next year. I've decided that I am going to exhibit again next year. The FK1's going to go back to Orlando Maker Fair. But
Are you abandoning your car channel and you're gonna go back to 3D printing?
no, absolutely not. I wasn't that excited.
I gotta ask, because this is the way it looks to me right now. Does it kind of look like I'm being raptured right now? Like it's starting. There's this like beam of light, and it looks like it's coming down onto my forehead and everything like that.
It looks like you're getting beamed up.
Oh wait, I have a thing for that.
You didn't say it.
Oh. Kirk Enterprise, beam me up. There's no intelligent life down here.
But yeah, I will, as the show goes through, I will cover all of the fun parts of Orlando Maker Fair, and
the fun parts, but not the king parts.
Right? No,
certainly not the 3D parts.
There weren't many 3D parts, but we'll get into all of that. There was somebody there that I was not expecting. That was a nice surprise.
Was it your mama?
And no, my mom definitely did not show up to Orlando Maker Fair. But this particular person, well known in the community, and traveled from afar to get there, and actually attended Farts with us. And for those who don't know what Farts is, that is the Florida area rep rap talking supper. And
okay.
We what?
I'm just I'm getting ready to start guessing who it was.
You can think about it.
Were they traveling from within the continental U.S. or?
Yes, from within the U.S.
Okay, that narrows it down a bit.
Yep.
Is it a person that's known in the community due to YouTube or due to their contributions to?
You said doo-doo. I think you actually said do too, but it sounded like doo-doo. Not YouTube. Definitely contribution to the community.
Okay.
So, anyway, I forgot where I was going. You derailed me there. Oh, Farts, and I'll cover all of that. Farts was probably the most successful one we've had yet.
It didn't end up with any leaks. It was just a regular good old Farts.
Oh my God, it was so bad. I was so sick to my stomach later that night and then the next morning. But Mitch said Marlon Scott. Nope. Nope.
Adrian Bauer.
Nope. He doesn't live in the United States.
I don't know that.
I think he's from the UK, isn't he? I don't know.
Showing my own ignorance.
So anyway, we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Is it someone you've met before?
Yes. I've met everybody. What are you talking about? What are you Googling, like big names in 3D printing?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I Googled.
It was Joel. It was Joel Telling. No, not really.
Definitely not known for YouTube, that Joel Telling.
No. Yeah, Alan said he is from the UK. So, but today I'm tired because, again, coming back to it being the 13th of November, I lost last weekend to Orlando Maker Faire. The Christmas lights light up Black Friday, which would be the day after the U.S. Thanksgiving, which I don't know what day that falls on this year.
Tomorrow.
Entirely too soon. But I spent the day yesterday putting up Christmas lights. And, well, after, see, how do I put this family friendly? Like, I went to the rental store to get the bucket, the man lift. And they have a new policy that requires you to, when you rent that, you also have to buy a bucket of lube. And it's not for the lift. I rented that thing 2 years ago for $359. It cost me $890. No, I'm sorry, $860 to rent that this year.
Youch. You could buy a decent powered computer without a GPU for that.
I am now on a quest to find a boom truck, like pickup truck size, like what the cable company uses, not like what the power company uses, not the big huge ones. I just need like 30 feet of boom. So I'm not paying $1,000 a year. That's only putting up. I still have to take it down by ladder. Like, I don't rent the boom to take it down. If I owned one, then I would use it for both ways. But I'm getting a little older. I'm a little more broken. It does take me longer to do stuff. Now, if I don't use the boom to put the Christmas lights up, which I didn't use it last year because there wasn't one available, and I did it by ladder, it takes about 3 days to do what I can do in 4 hours with the boom, just to kind of put it into perspective on why I would spend that kind of money. So, but
our neighbor this year put up, I forget what it's called, but it's LED lighting that's meant to stay up all year round. So it hides under your eaves troughs. And it's quite bright and like sort of projects down onto the side of it. And so then you just change it to color for whatever season, or you leave it off if it's inappropriate.
It's never inappropriate.
Well, there you go. Then just do that.
I've thought about it, but I can't. It's not addressable to the level that I need for my light show.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I mean, I'd have to have all kinds of crazy wiring and stuff for that. So
I forgot how fancy you get.
Oh, it gets fancy. So
you already know.
But yeah, so I'm a little worn out today. But the good news is, let's see, we talked about it 2 weeks ago. I don't remember what day I ordered it, but I ordered the Revo 6 to put in my Prusa. Now, I did not go with Repcord's kit that Andrew, we'll call him Andrew M because the other one's Andrew M.
Andrew the man.
Andrew from 3D Gloopet said, hey, get that kit from Repcord, and Uncle Ron found me a link, and I pulled up the link, and I'm like, yes, that's what I'm going to get. That was for the MK3. Didn't. I have an MK 2.5S, but I also don't need all the additional nozzles right now, and those nozzles are about $25 a piece.
Novel tough.
So I saved about $75 not doing the kit and just getting the hot end. And so I ordered that from the Printed Solids. And of course, what would a printed solid order be without candy? So I got my Airheads. And while I was, and this, if you've never touched one of these Revos, like I picked it up, I thought it was fake. It's so lightweight. It's amazing. But I took the opportunity when I ordered that, because anything over $50 is free shipping in the continental United States from Printed Solid. I took the opportunity to also order myself some bed bearings, because they are starting to get a little groany, and you changed yours. I thought it was time to change mine. So
I'm gonna revisit this since we're doing printer repairs today. I want to cry some more. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, good. Local Maker Michigan said, "Yeah, Andrew talked me into the Revo kit. Now both my Prusa Minis have them, and they are awesome." I hope so. I mean, I was going to buy the other. It wasn't that much more expensive to go this over the V6 again, and I do like the fact that this one, the heat cartridge wire comes directly out of the back. It doesn't come out of the side and then have to get all looped around and stuff. So that should be easy enough. Now, they were out of the Prusa kits, but they did have, at least I think they were, maybe this is the Prusa kit now that I say that. I don't know. The only difference was the length of the wire. They're longer wires for the non-Prusa, just because it's more universal. But I went back and forth because I was debating getting the fully loaded kit with all the nozzles, and so I don't remember. But I don't. It was just a couple dollars difference. It wasn't a big deal. So I hope it's worthwhile, because, as I said 2 weeks ago, I attempted to print some PLA, and she said, "Nope."
It said PL nay.
She said, "Oh, thermal runaway."
Run away from the thermals.
Oh, I haven't taken this thing apart in so long. I'm a little nervous about it. I didn't run down the chat. That wasn't very nice of me. It looks like Mitch Strini was first, at least on my screen. He even questioned it. He threw a question mark in there. Sergio was second. Local Maker Michigan was third. Alan Osborne's here. Tom Elrod is here. Ollie is here. Glenn Hogue, Clint, Alan King. I may repeat some of these. I'm really tired.
Why is that?
Paul Cumber.
Just curious. What were you up
Nightbot. Did I miss anybody?
to? Are we just ignoring the question?
Why am I tired?
Yeah, please tell me.
Oh, that's right. I told you, but I didn't tell everybody else, did I? So, can I tell your half of it? James sent me a tweet, and he said he was up until 3 o'clock in the morning and was able to get some videos done. And I was going to message him back and say, well, I too was up until 3 o'clock in the morning. But it's because I was playing Red Dead.
You were getting some video games done.
Oh, it was so epic. As if you guys are not Red Dead players, it won't make much sense to you. But when you play in story mode, okay, so it's based around the end of the 1800s. And there's story mode. What is the after story mode? It's not prologue, it's
Epilogue.
Epilogue. There you go. So in the story mode, you have the story mode, and then you have the epilogue. And then, and those take place like this. And then the online actually happens before. So things that are in the story mode are not actually in the online. Like, they haven't been made yet.
That's because it hasn't been invented yet.
That's right. So, like, the towns and stuff are the same towns, same states, but not everything is the same. Anyway, in story mode, there is a a certain city, and it is the worst city to be in story mode. Like, I avoided it like the plague because everybody's out to get you. There's like people that constantly pick your pockets and steal your money. There's cops everywhere there, like just everywhere. But in online mode, that's like the place to be because it's just a different demeanor of play. So last night we were playing. There was three of us in our posse, and we ran into some friends, and these are people that we've played with before, which amazes me because there's like 25 to 30 people per session, and there's hundreds of sessions, and it's amazing how many times you come across the same people. But we happened to end up in the same session with some friends of ours, and so we went and found them, and we joined their posse. So there were 6 of us, and we hung out with them for a little bit, and then we left their posse and went on our way, went back into our posse of 3, and met these 2 randos that were just like, they were just out in the middle of the desert. And so my son and his friend are agitators. There's no other way around it.
They're the disturbers. They're the poop disturbers.
Yeah. I mean, like, I kind of keep them reeled in, but I mean, they go and they just kind of agitate people just
They
to
provoke.
see if they'll start anything. So, it turns out that it's 2 girl characters that are actually girls. They were of lady persuasion, which is almost never the way it is in Red Dead. Like, all the dudes hanging out in the mom's basements are playing as chick characters. I don't get it. And if you do that, hey, okay, I just don't get it.
The only explanation I won't repeat it. Anyways.
I think I know where you're going because somebody told me one time why they do it.
Yeah.
And it has to do with the view is different.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so we were just kind of chit-chatting with these 2, and we had invented this game. There's a windmill out in the desert, and we actually weren't far from it. We started playing this game where you have to climb. It's 3 levels. You have to go up, you have to go around, you go up the next ladder, come across, you go up the next ladder to get to the top. So the goal is you have to get all the way to the top and jump off before one of your other teammates kills you. And there's some stipulations that go with it. Like, you can only use certain guns, you have to be a certain distance, you have to count so many seconds, whatever. So we have rules for this game. So
Do you have rules and regulations?
Right. So we convinced these other 2 to play. Which it took them a little while to understand the concept behind it, but they got on board. It was pretty funny. And then they were like, well, we're going to go do some bounty missions. Thanks for hanging out with us or whatever. And they leave and we go on about our way. So we end up in a different town, and they show up in that town while we're there. And this is where the real fun begins, because there's a guy in town who he's talking with an accent like this, which I don't know if it was a real accent or if he was just putting it on for the game, but he started dropping the N-word.
Oh, geez.
And a derogatory term for gay people. Excessively. So, and he was like, there's nothing worse than an N and an F. And I'm like, well, that's terrible because I'm a black gay guy. Like this. And so he's like, oh, I feel sorry for you. And he just wouldn't shut up. So we just started to annihilate him. So the 2 other players, the 2 girls, end up joining into our posse. So there's now 5 people in our posse. And we're after this one guy. And we're just annihilating. He stands no chance. So he parlays. So if somebody attacks you and kills you, you can parlay. And that puts a 10-minute timer on there that you can't kill them, they can't kill you, so that you can technically run away, is what it comes down to. Well, my clever son and I figured out that even if you parlay, if you have dynamite arrows, you can shoot at their feet and it will blow them up into the air, and they can't do anything.
It's gravity that kills them, not you.
You just keep hammering them with the dynamite, and it like slams them into the walls and stuff. Well, it takes a long time to kill them that way, but they can't do anything else. They're stuck in an explosion loop. So, and you do that for the whole 10 minutes, and then the parlay runs out and you can kill them. Of course, they parlay again, but whatever, you know. So this guy ended up leaving, but at that point, the other two girls didn't leave the posse, and we spent the rest of the evening running around just town to town harassing everybody, and it was fabulous.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
So then all of a sudden it was 2:00 in the morning, and I'm like, man, I got to go to bed. So, and then
Ooh, that's hot.
an hour of unwind time and then sleep, and then up at 7:30 this morning to go to church. All right. So back onto what we were doing.
Paul Cumber asks, can you put RetroPie onto an so no, you because like RetroPie is specifically targeted at the Raspberry Pi, but RetroPie isn't an actual operating system. It's a distribution that's been put together that's based on, I want to say Armbian, but I could be wrong. But then it's got the GPU drivers so that you can use graphic acceleration, and it's running Emulation Station, if memory serves correctly. And most of the firmwares for the RG353P, I believe, are just using Emulation Station anyways, or maybe OpenELEC. Anyways, I might be a little bit out of practice, which is ironic because one of the videos I filmed last night is on a new handheld.
Well, you know, whatever. As a YouTuber, you don't really have to know anything.
That's true. The less you know, the better.
All right. It's been a long time since I've done this.
It's been a while since I could hold my head up high.
I don't think I have to take off very much to get that out of there.
I don't know how much of this thermal paste I'm supposed to smear onto this guy.
All of it.
Oh,
No,
okay.
just a little. It's like Annie sees. You use a little bit and then it just gets everywhere.
I'm not gonna. Oh, that's probably too much. Perfect.
Local maker Michigan said he actually swaps nozzles and slice depending on the print. I really like it. Well, yeah, I figure I will change my game later. Did you get anything catching from farts? I don't understand the question. Did I catch anything at farts?
Was it catch and release at farts? What?
So we want to do a Florida rep wrap. Like, we think that Florida needs one. And you know, like, we've been kind of kicking this idea around for a while, and sometimes it's brought up that like maybe Georgia would be better.
Made in Georgia.
Just because it would be a little bit more central to the southeast, but the weather here is nicer. I mean, when we're not having a flipping hurricane. If you guys didn't hear, we had another one. Hurricane Nicole rolled through, and it rolled right through here, but it wasn't a big one, so no damage. Everybody's okay. But yeah, so you know, farts started because we joked about having a rep rap festival here called Florida Area Rep Rap. And we were like trying to figure out how to make it farts. But then farts turned into a dinner that we have the Saturday night of Orlando Maker Fair at the Golden Corral. Because at the Golden Corral, you go for the farts and you leave with the poops. But but it's become a tradition, and we even had people in the room who are currently not on talking terms, and yet everybody was there and civil and having a good time. So I thought that was
People
pretty
that are on
neat.
talking terms.
Yeah, there's a lot of drama going on in the community right now.
I blame you.
No, it's not me. But anyway, and I mean, sad part is both sides are my friend. You know, like I'm friends with both sides, and so kind of in the beginning, I just said, "Hey, let's do this and let's be civil about it," and everybody was fine. There was no problems. So that was good. And Felipe was there. He doesn't come to our streams anymore, but he was there.
So what do you think? This is going to jam immediately again?
Depending on what.
Oh, did we just lose Glenn or did we lose me? We lost you there for a sec, Glenn. I think you might be back.
Was it audio and video or just audio? Oh, it looks like
audio and video.
It's like my signal strength is low. I'm so tired of Comcast. I'm so tired of Comcast. Oh, I went round and rounds with them. I don't know, a week and a half ago or whatever. Every day our internet was dropping out. And I'm like, listen, the hurricane's been gone long enough. You can't use that as an excuse anymore.
And they said we can do whatever we want.
No, they gave me a $20 credit on my bill. Like that's going to appease losing internet every day. It was 3 days in a row, every day. Yeah, Scott said was kind of surprised by some of the pictures I saw. There you go. So you know what's going on. No, I have fine connect. Well, let's see what the upload is. But nope, it was a very civil dinner, and it was a really good time. Yeah, I forgot that those pictures were posted, Scott. See, that gives away who was at the event, who the big name was.
You think you were the big name, don't you?
I am the big name. Yeah, I'm only getting 20 megabit upload, and it should be 40. It's always on Sundays. And it's not even, I can't even blame it on Xander. He's not here.
Yeah, he's only here on Xander's thing Thursdays.
Man, there's a lot of wires crammed into this little electronics box. Why do they make all these wires so long? Oh, but anyway.
Oh, so
are you ready to know who was there?
Sure, why not?
Big name. Big name. You know, Prussia was there. Not Joseph himself, though.
They just had representation.
Just the company was there, right? But that's still super awesome to me, because I still take credit for them being there. Because I used to harass them constantly about coming to the show. Don't know if that's actually why they decided to, but I'm still taking credit for it. Glenn Hug said, was it Shane? Nope.
Not the same old Shane.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that, but I didn't figure he'd show up. They kind of did him wrong for Earth, but that's not my business. Anyway, no, it was David Randolph.
Oh,
the big man
David.
of Printed Solid himself.
Well, that's exciting change.
I thought it was pretty cool. I had no idea he was coming. So like all of a sudden, we're walking into the show, and he's coming out of one of the buildings, and he's wearing the bright red Printed Solid shirt, and he comes out and he's walking, and I walk past him. I'm like, well, that's Dave. So I spin around and I go back, and I'm walking like uncomfortably close, like shoulder to shoulder with him.
As you do.
Yeah, and I'm just like, and I'm staring at him like the whole time we're walking like this, and he's like just dead-eyed forward. And finally he looks over at me like what is this guy doing? And then realized it was me. So then he pushed me down in the mud.
Good.
He was like, I'm done with you, creep. No, it was nice. And then so I invited him to Farts. I mean, we technically invited the whole Prusa booth, but only David showed up. But I thought it was pretty nice that he came and hung out with us, small folk. But it was nice. That was the first time that I've had a chance to sit and talk with him since
the acquisition.
What's that?
Since the acquisition.
Right. So and I mean, there's a lot of stuff that he can't tell. Like there's things that he can't talk about, and that's understandable.
You're just like, just hold up to the dollar signs. You don't need to tell me exactly.
That's kind of the conversation we were having. I'm like, listen, you don't have to tell me, but without telling me, tell me. I mean, he showed up in his McLaren, so I guess no, I'm just kidding. I said, don't know what he was driving. I'm sure it was a rental. But no, I had no idea he was coming, so that was kind of cool. And then he came to dinner. Man, there's a lot of wires in this stuff. Why did I do this? So, and then the Andrews were there. My friends from 3D Gloop. If you don't use 3D Gloop for your printing, you're doing.
I just bought a bunch of 3D Gloop.
What's that?
I just bought a bunch of 3D Gloop for that project that I've got coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've now got extrusion out of the nozzle, as you can see. Looks pretty good. That looks like
pretty good. I can see that.
So now I'm just gonna let it sit for 2 minutes and then try and extrude again, and it'll probably be jammed. Possibly fig jammed. It's continuing to ooze quite a bit.
All right, I don't think I took enough of this off.
If only these Star Trek tools that I have actually worked, I could just go. Oh, yeah, it says it's broken.
Says I should have bought an A-net instead.
A-net, more like yay-net. Okay.
No, I can't remember. I think I have to take off more. More? I was thinking that was as far as I had to go, but it's not.
Oh, look, it's not jammed yet.
I hate when it's not jammed.
It does ooze a lot, though, after it's finished.
So I have a multi-material unit for this, an MMU. And I've had it for a while. I got a good deal on it, which is why I have it. But I've never even taken it out of the box. And the reason why was because I never heard anybody go, man, that's the most awesome thing ever. It's the greatest. It's so easy to use. And so I just kind of, I don't know, I kind of shied away from it. So I guess what I'm asking is, if anybody out there uses a Prusa MMU, is it worth it? I also have a...
That did not successfully unload the filament, I can tell you that much. I
have a... what's the other one? A palette that I bought from Sir Mitch 3D at Orlando Maker Fair back a few years ago. I bought that specifically to go on the FK1, but that would still give me the same capabilities. So do I use the Prusa MMU or do I sell it? Brian said pallets are nice, and then Local Maker Michigan said I have a pallet too, and it's a pain in the butt.
I have gotten mixed messages about how good or bad they are.
Yeah, well, it's probably like everything else where you really have to be dedicated to making it work.
Ugh.
I don't need another hobby.
I'm not dedicated, but I probably should be committed. Get it? You get it.
Oh, get in there. Snip. I should have brought my super goggles that I got from Uncle Ron. Uncle Ron got stranded here in Florida. He may or may not be watching at this point. His flight got canceled twice. He was down here for Poppy and went to leave, and because of Hurricane Nicole, his flight got canceled. And then took a reschedule on it. That flight got canceled. So he's been stuck here for like 2 weeks.
In Florida?
Yep.
Oh no.
And didn't even get to go to Maker Faire because he was here for Poppy, who has been moved out of the hospital and into a rehab center now. So we're moving in the right direction. Wow, this thing is disgusting. I don't know why. I don't know why this wouldn't work. Oh, I got to get my detail camera back over here. Oh, man, I'm getting old. Let me see if I can get you guys a view on this hot end.
I hate this printer. That's where we've moved to.
Just pure disdain. There we go. There, you can still see there's all this blue Jesse PLA from the glob.
The Great Glob of 1906.
Pretty dirty.
Dear printer, I don't think I love you anymore. Do you know what that's a reference to?
When you get to drinking, you put places I've never been before.
If we put our heads together, we'd just stay home together forever. Unload filament. Ramming. Okay. Okay, it backed it out.
Ramming.
Prepare for ramming speeds. Work right now. Thank you very much. Okay, well, now it's feeding some filament. Will it make it to the end? No one knows for sure, but I intend to find out.
All right. I absolutely cannot see. The lighting in this studio is terrible.
Well, it's not jammed. I guess I gotta do the bad calibration test again, and then it's gonna jam. Get it ready to print. That's the best way to make sure that it doesn't.
That's right.
Let's do. No, I just want to. First layer, constipation.
First layer constipation.
Yep. No, I don't want to use the current value because it's probably wrong and also stupid. like me. Oh, we've got a butt alert.
A butt alert. Oh, bot
Oh.
alert.
No, it's a butt.
Well, listen, just about every one of you that's in here is a mod. So,
You ain't kidding.
like,
I tell you.
take care of it. That's why I did that.
So we don't have to do anything. We're very
You
lazy.
got the wrench, man. Fix it. Oh, but you can get their private photo for free. The username is almost always really close to the same thing. Like, make sure that you're reporting it for no-nos.
Brian says,
pornography and explicit material.
Local maker Michigan says, James, does it print a few layers and then jam? No, it usually jams almost immediately.
Could be jamming. That printer's new name is Bob Marley.
I also want to make it clear that what I did today is the same thing I did 2 weeks ago.
Absolutely nothing new.
I've tried absolutely nothing and I'm all out of ideas, man.
I have no ideas of my own and yours all suck.
Have you been watching the burning of Twitter during all this stuff?
No, I just use Twitter like I always have.
Oh, okay. Kay's been getting lots of the posts about all the people impersonating other people because like they're trying to fix it, but basically it was like when it was like, oh, anybody can be verified now, you just have to pay the bill for it. So people started paying for verification and then changing their name to like Elon Musk and stuff and
Oh
changing
yeah,
their profile pictures.
you didn't see what I had posted about that?
Maybe not.
Kathy Griffin.
Oh yeah, she got perma banned.
Well, she got perma suspended. But then like somebody said, like somebody had posted an article that said, comedian Kathy Griffin has had her account, permanently suspended for impersonating Elon Musk, blah blah blah. And Elon replies to it and said, no, she got suspended for impersonating a comedian.
Oh Lord.
Which is funny to me because I don't find her funny at all. And then then somebody else chimed in and said that she's been using her mother's Twitter account to get her Twitter fixed. And somebody else said, didn't her mom die? And then somebody said, so she's using her dead mother's Twitter account, so she's still impersonating. Good times.
Okay, well, we're almost done the first layer calibration, so I look forward to the incoming jam.
Alan King wants to know what the hot end in the Mini is.
It's a derivative of the V6. Well, it's the same heat break or heat block, heat cartridge, and thermistor that's on the V6, but it's I think a proprietary heatsink and heat break for the Mini. Don't quote me on that though. I haven't done a lot of research. I'm just going based on observation.
Yeah, and you didn't build that one, right? You bought that one. No, they don't come in kit, do they?
They come like 9. Well, no, I think there is
like
a kit, and this one was the 90% assembled one, where you just basically like unfold it and scream at it in Swahili. Do I want to disable them? No, I don't want to disable anything. Also, my other complaint, the USB key that came with it died. It was just like, hey, guess what? No.
Yeah.
It's like, please. It's like, nah.
Nope.
I'm gonna try it again because why not? Because that's where all the initial prints are. I might as well stick to the prints that have worked.
Brian's telling you to open the window and throw the printer out of it.
Oh, but I was hoping to get a new window too. So if I don't open the window first, I have an excuse to get a new printer and a new. You get the joke I'm trying to make.
Yeah. Well, I wish Uncle Ron was tuning in because he was talking about looking at doing this for Poppy Ron's printer to make it easier for him to change nozzles.
So now it sees that I've installed a USB drive, but it doesn't see any files on it.
Maybe there aren't any.
Maybe there is no spoon.
Scott said Mini uses a standard cartridge and thermistor. The rest is proprietary, but reminiscent of existing stuff. Heat
Yeah, I would have
all Mini specific.
the heat. Yeah, so I said I think the heater block is the same as the V6, and it looks like it's the same nozzles too. But definitely the original Prusa Mini branded heatsink is definitely theirs.
Well, I know you can get a Revo for that thing.
And the problem comes along. I would like it to get me one actual print that didn't.
I mean, like you haven't printed on that thing enough for it to be broken.
Yeah, I have. Let's see. Let's go to info, statistics. I have 1 day, 22 hours of print time on it, so less than 2 days worth of print time, and 22 hours of that is a print that I came down to that had failed because the bed slid off the magnets. So,
yeah. Brian asked what I'm doing because he missed the start of the stream. I am putting a Revo 6. Is that right? Revo 6? Yeah, Revo 6 hot end in my Prusa MK 2.5S. Now, for those who have not seen, what E3D did was, in essence, make them exactly the same. The mount is the same, and they're the exact same length. So things don't change as far as that goes. Seems to be a pretty sweet setup.
I don't know where I put the filament holder for the Mini now. I threw it out the window in the heat of passion. I said, I'll never need this again. I'm a little disorganized.
Me too. Yeah, I actually, well, he's not watching, so I can say it. I had Zach's Christmas present out here. It arrived when? Yesterday. Friday. I think it arrived Friday. And so I brought it out here to hide it. And, but I had taken it all out of its packaging so I could see it. So I had it just laying here. So I had to quick put it back in the box and hide it away. So, oh, Alan King said I can hear a hurricane in the mic. Yeah, I think you're breathing into your microphone.
No, you're breathing into yours.
I don't even know if it's physically possible for me to breathe into my microphone. You should read through the whole guide before attempting the upgrade. Oh, I didn't do that.
And I'm not gonna. Hey, you read to the point where it said you should read through it. I mean, that's progress for you.
Yeah. Well, I probably should have read this because it legit shows everything that you got to do. I did that. I did that. I did that. I did that, but I didn't use that tool. I'm showing to cut it with a box cutter. Try not to cut the wires. Well, yeah, try not to cut the wires.
It should say ensure you don't, not try not to, because that makes it
Yeah,
sound like it's like
like,
no big deal if you do.
like do not cut the wires. All right, remove the collect clip. The collect clip.
The collet. I think.
COLLECT. Collect.
Oh, there's an ECT. Okay, sorry. Well, I'm gonna shut up then. How's that?
Yeah. Well, I thought it was a call it too, but nope, it's a collect. I mean, that's probably just a typo. From the V6, press down on the call. Yeah, press down on the collet and slide the PTFE tube up your nose. Oh no, I mean out. Well, mine's not in there. It came separately.
I am very much within striking distance of getting 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year on my retro channel.
That's pretty exciting.
That being said, as I say this out loud, please nobody go and subscribe like on their secondary accounts or anything. I want to get there legitimately.
Organically, yeah.
Yep.
I just rolled 700. No, I'm just kidding. 366 on the garage channel. And I'm
No, you got a subscriber for every day of the year plus leap year.
Okay. You know what I never did find though was my
Will to live.
My PTFE tubing cutter. I really thought it was in these drawers. It really sucks having half my stuff upstairs and half my stuff down here. And I mean, it's nobody's fault but mine. I could have easily had all of that taken care of by now, but Red Dead.
I also disagree about the Ender 2 having all this stuff perfected.
What?
Alan King said, to be honest, Corelli nailed the small design of the Ender 2 years before the Mini. I had a Mini 2 and I printed lots on it. However, it was always needing to have its bed re-leveled. And it was that 3-point leveling system, which I didn't love.
Scott said, I'm gonna disagree there, but that is okay. What are we disagreeing about, Scott? Is it you and me or James and you? Because if it's you and James, I don't care.
I think Hack Monkey is disagreeing with Alan King.
Oh. Pay-per-view fight time.
So it's either partially jammed or not low enough. I'm gonna say not low enough though. I'm gonna cautiously optimistically say it's not low enough.
So I have this really bad habit. I use, safety razors, like regular scrapey razor blades for a lot of things. Sometimes I use them to get prints off the print bed, which I know is terribly dangerous, and I do it anyway. So kids, do what I say, don't do what I do. But where the terrible habit really comes in is I don't know what I do with the razor blades when I'm done with them. And it's really
Glenn, you've been eating them. You haven't noticed?
I mean, usually I'll like when I'm done with them, I'll drop them into like a Gatorade bottle or something so that they're not
just hanging out.
Yeah. And maybe I didn't have one in here. Maybe all the parts came off the bed. Because obviously I don't use them on the Prusa. I use them on the AM8. So maybe I didn't have one in here, but I mean, they sent this piece of PTFE and I just don't know if it's clean enough, a clean enough cut. Plus you have to cut the end of it off.
Round 2.
Brian said, so this is probably going to be a very dumb question, but what led you to wanting the Revo? I needed a hot end and I was going to buy a new one. And then, the general population said, go with the Revo or you're a moron.
Moran.
And that's not really how it went down, but it was pretty close to that. No, I mean, just it's the newer technology. I like the design to be able to change the nozzles out without tools and without doing it safety blades go in the back of the dispenser. No, my safety blades all just come in a little plastic container.
Pew, 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 pew.
Oh, they're saying to take it out of the V6. Oh, they're talking about reusing the PTFE from the V6 into the Revo, but so does the V6 hot end, like it was always best to just put that little bevel on the end. And I don't know if that's still the general consensus. But it certainly seems that the PTFE tubing goes down into the V6 a lot more than it goes down into the Revo, significantly. I just don't know if it needs that little bevel.
Well, it's looking better. The sound this thing makes when it sorry, I was trying to get it on mic. The sound it makes when it retracts gives me anxiety.
Okay.
Listen. Do you hear that clicking? There's a clicking it makes. It sounds kind of like when the extruder would jam up on a CR10. So it gives me flashbacks to coming down middle of the night on a 48-hour print and hearing the printer going. I go over and it's like it's under extruding, and I like crank up the temperature and slow down the print speed, knowing it's all in vain. But maybe this will be the one time that I get away with it. And it's like, sure, maybe it's a little clogged, but maybe it just maybe it just needs a little more heat, and it'll be okay.
Double the heat. Go double.
No, because then you off gas the PTFE and then you die.
Oh.
And then who's going to co-host
Michigan
with
said that he didn't put the bevel on his and it's working. I'm going to go grab a razor. I'll be back in like
it's like because he said that I'm definitely going to do it.
No. I have to trim it off at the 10 millimeter mark. But I can't. I don't know where my fancy Capricorn tubing cutter is. It's probably upstairs.
Figure it out.
I'll be right back. Entertain the people.
I can't juggle, but this is what it would look like if I could. Are you not entertained? I'd say this layer is probably a little bit closer than it had to be, but I'm just going to let it go. We'll see what happens. A happy little accent? Maybe.
Don't say anything. I have a hot mic on right now, and everybody on the stream will hear you talking. Sorry if I talked over you. I just thought that was funny because Zach walked into the garage. Did I tell the story about the trampoline?
Oh, that you have to get rid of it for insurance purposes?
Well, and that I did get rid of it for insurance purposes?
I only know because you put it on Twitter, actually. You didn't tell the story here.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I probably shouldn't admit that publicly. So, a friend of mine, a friend of a friend had to get rid of his trampoline. But no, it's still in the garage because I haven't had a chance to take it down. And that boy has been out there every day. every day out there jumping on that
How
thing.
much was it going to jack your insurance if you kept it?
They weren't going to cover the house at all.
Really?
So, welcome to Florida. The biggest problem that we're having right now is all the insurance companies are hightailing it out of the state.
Mm.
They're crying poverty because they have to pay out on these storms. They've been collecting on us for 10 years with no big payouts, and then all of a sudden there's one hurricane and they're like, "Oh, we're going to be bankrupt."
Guess you should have invested the money that you guys collected for all these years. Instead of buying yourself solid gold yachts.
That's how I feel about it. But so the issue that we ran into was, of the companies that were left, the only one I could find that would insure my house because my roof is over 10 years old was the one that I got.
Mm.
And the reason my roof is over 10 years old and is going to stay that way is because it's a lifetime metal roof.
Mm.
So the company that we got insurance from actually gets supplemented from the government, from the Florida government, to be like the insurance company for Florida. So you can't really be choosy right now.
Mm.
My next door neighbor, his company is writing policies for one more year because these were the first hurricanes to hit Florida ever. Yeah, we don't have hurricanes here. For those of you who don't know, I'm gonna bring the stream right down. I'm gonna just plummet in the toilet. Hurricane Charlie blew through in 2004, and
I'm gonna stop this because I think part of the I'm having some some quality issues, and I think part of it's definitely stuff not sticking to the bed, not hot end problems right now.
you're having performance anxiety.
The usual.
Oh, but anyway, yeah, Charlie rolled through in 2004, and my stepdaughter was actually killed in a hurricane-related traffic accident. So yeah, we take hurricanes seriously. But my next door neighbor, his company has said that they're going to write policies for one more year. But they also jacked his rate up like $1,000 a year.
You got 1 year to find a replacement is basically what they said.
Well, for him, not for me.
That's what I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Well, but no, my company actually, they sent out notification a couple months ago that they were no longer going to write policies, that November was the end of it, and they were no longer going to write policies in the state of Florida due to excessive payouts, blah blah blah.
Yeah, our heart breaks for you. The number of people that lost their homes and lives and everything else. By all means, tell us how it affected your bottom line.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we can't give the shareholders their big bonuses this year, so we're gonna have to.
It's like when a CEO has to lay off a bunch of people and then they talk about how hard a decision it was on them to do it. It's like, that's
Right.
nice. Are you losing your business? No? Oh, okay.
No, yeah. Are you taking a pay cut from your $6 million a year? Nope.
Hello, you have the face of a jerk. You are a jerk face.
Paul Cumber said, "Did you try State Farm? State Farm will not insure my house."
That's not a very good neighbor.
No. Well, it's the 10-year roof thing.
That's such a silly thing too, because it's a better roof.
Yep. So my insurance agent, because we go through a private agent, and my insurance agent said that a lot of times, if you every 10 years, if you replace all the screws in the roof and get it independently inspected, that the insurance companies will write you a policy. But again, the biggest issue right now is that these guys they're just not going to be here. There aren't anybody in Florida, so. Yeah, it's part of living in Florida. Not that there's not, problems elsewhere too.
No problems in Canada.
No, never is. Never a shortage on maple syrup. You gotta open your throat and cup the. Never mind.
Always go too far, buddy. Always go too far.
That movie.
This is a family-friendly channel. You're gonna get. Oh wait, no. You're supposed to be telling me that.
Hey, did I tell you guys I'm tired?
You're technically retired. You were tired, and now you're tired again. So
I'm at least retelling it. Paul wants to know if you have any snow by you.
nope. I think it did snow this morning, but it's not cold enough for it to stay. But we had to, because our hot tub, the hot tub we were using, that inflatable one, the only caveat is that it's not good for below -10. And if you're going to take it down, you have to take it down when it's 10°C or above. So if it doesn't go below -10, you can leave it running. But if you're going to empty it, you shouldn't have it empty below 10, because then there's nothing to keep the vinyl warm and it can get brittle.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So we had to race to take it down, and now it's in a box over here on the ground. You can probably see it if I stand up. Just sticking out somewhere there. So don't mind me. I need a vacation. Sellmevacations.com. What's this plugged into? Is that what's plugged into the webcam?
So you want to take a stab at what the temperature is here right now? Without looking it up. Don't anybody cheat.
I'm going to say 78 degrees Fahrenheit.
You're a little high.
That's okay. It's legal in Canada. Oh, you mean
in your guess?
Oh, okay.
Mitch said 40. No.
32.
That's a little low.
68 degrees.
Ooh, getting closer.
66.
Getting closer.
64.
There you go.
I did it. First try.
First try.
Giggity, giggity, ghost dad.
64 degrees right now, which is magnificent for us.
You know, I'm a big fan of the Commodore 64. Perhaps they're related.
I, too, am a big fan of the Commodore 64. There was some Commodore 64s at the Orlando Maker Faire this year.
Oh, I should have come. I wouldn't come to see you, but I'd come to see a Commodore 64.
Yeah, there's a group, a retro computer group, and they set up, and they have all these old computers.
That's clearly the event I need to go to, because it covers 3D printing and retro computers.
Well, not as much 3D printing as I'd like to see. So, once again, I'm going to take credit for this. The right driver? I know I've told the story before, but when we went to the first Orlando Maker Faire, I was very disappointed that there was no 3D printing. And I had made comment on one of the live streams about it and got called out. One of the guys from Gainesville Maker Faire told me to put up or shut up.
So you shut up.
So that was the first year that I exhibited, and it just kind of snowballed from there, and it was just great. I enjoy every bit of it. It's just a lot of work, and it's costly. Anybody that tells you it's free to go to Maker Faire, then they're lying.
I think it cost me probably $1,500 every time I go to one, at least.
Yeah, with travel time and stuff.
Travel time, hotel room, the cost of the table, the food and stuff while you're there, paying people not to beat me up.
Well, your mom still pays me to be your friend. Does that count?
I was actually saying it's like I'm trying to install the new version of Prusa Slicer, and it's like you still have our crappy old version. It was like I don't. Is it still labeled Prusa Slicer based on Slicer like Slick 3R when you boot it up? Because I had a really old copy installed on this computer.
I don't know.
Prusa Slicer 2.5. I had I think 2.1 or 2.2 or something installed. Oh, it still says the same thing, so never mind.
I can't really get. I got too much stuff on the desk. I can't really get you guys in here to see this, but there's no reason just to be looking at my desk. So there she is. I love the fact that it's black. I mean, you don't see it anyway, but it's just very stealthy. So, Ollie said, I've never been to a maker faire. There's one here in Sweden, but it's so far away. So, without saying anything bad, because the guys that I say guys, the peoples that put on the Orlando Maker Faire do such a magnificent job. Last year, which was the first year after the whole pandemic, you guys are familiar with the pandemic, right?
What's that? A pandemic?
A pandemic?
Yeah.
It's like a Vince medic, but it's for pandas.
Hmm.
Yeah, so 2019 we had a show. 2020 we didn't. 2021 we had a show, but it was very lacking. Like the crowds were not normal size crowds. The amount of exhibitors was not a normal size amount of exhibitors. I felt bad for not exhibiting at that point just because they could have used bodies on the floor,
Put the bodies on the floor.
That's right. This year, I would say the crowd was double what it was last year as far as attendees. I'm gonna go back to this camera for a bit because you can't really see anything out of that one right now. But as far as exhibitors go, there was still a lack of exhibitors, which for people like 3D Gloop was actually fantastic because they got a big area. They had a big area to set up in, and if you guys haven't seen their setup, it's super professional. The way that they set up their booth. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right.
Probably not.
Probably not. It's probably just going to catch fire as soon as I fire this up. But what was kind of sad, and I'm sure that part of it had to be that way, was it seemed like it was more people selling stuff, not so much average Joe. This is what I make. It almost was more felt more like a craft fair / flea market. But I'm sure that it'll come back around. I'm sure it'll build back up. And then we'll all go back to only getting a 10-foot wide booth.
Brian says again, James, sorry to keep repeating myself, but there's a window for that printer because you've been working on that printer for what 3 streams? Yes, it has been 3 streams actually. I wasn't gonna work on it today, and then Glenn's all like, "I'm gonna work on my printer," and I hate your stupid face, James. I was like, well, okay, I guess.
I did not use the term stupid.
No, but the word you did use would get us demonetized. So personal preservation.
I'm sorry that I'm not paying attention to chat. It's tough. It's tough to do stuff like this and pay attention to chat. Brian said, also, I did something productive yesterday. I taught myself how to make JST connectors, specifically how to crimp them. Awesome. Yeah, those are tough because they're so small.
Getting primpy with
Tom
it.
Lama has popped in and said, Florida, 64 degrees. My God, everyone down there is running around in down coats at that time. Pretty much. Like, not so, well, I guess it's 64. But, like, I suppose if I went to the store right now, I would see people running around in sweatshirts and stuff. Alexa, what are my notifications? Okay, did you guys hear that?
A freezing warning is in effect.
For Phillips.
Where's Phillips?
Do you know? You don't know where Phillips is?
No.
Neither do I. So I got one earlier today. Yeah, it just says, I don't know if it's going to let me see the old ones. This was the one that just came through. U.S. National Weather Service has issued a freeze warning for Phillips. Period. It'll be in effect. Blah blah blah. There was another one that came through earlier today. I don't know how to go back and look up old notifications. But it was for like the Ariel B whatever shopping plaza. A freeze warning for a shopping plaza. Apparently nowhere else, just at that shopping plaza.
The
And,
deals have well, it's because the deals are so good that hell froze over. That's what they're trying to say.
Oh, but I just thought it was weird because my wife was like, "What?" And I'm like, "I don't know." Like, it's just really weird. So I googled it. Apparently, that has been going out like all day long at different times to different people, all over the United States, and nobody knows where this shopping plaza is. So I don't know where Phillips is, but I mean, we definitely are not having a freeze warning in Florida. So Google's drunk and needs to go home.
Guess what I'm printing? Wrong answers only.
You are printing a XYZ cube.
Must be. XYZ gonna give it to you. I wish the Ryan Reynolds Hugh Jackman Deadpool movie was coming out tomorrow. I don't want to wait.
I don't want to wait.
Although we did just get the new Black Panther, and I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Have you seen? Maybe we already talked about this. I haven't seen it yet.
Black Adam.
Yeah, Black Adam.
Yeah, that was the first movie Kay and I saw after she was given the go ahead to start, slowly returning to society.
Okay, so no spoilers.
Mhm.
I mean, not only for my benefit, but for everybody. How would you rate it?
I'd give it like a B plus probably.
Okay.
It is the kind of movie that we'll probably watch again at some point just to see like the various parts we missed. And I thought it was like entertaining, and it's not trying to be like a big Marvel movie per se. It's got I don't know.
Well, it's a DC movie.
It's a DC. That's what I'm saying. Is that like for a while it felt like DC was chasing Marvel to try and make like the cinematic universe that they had, and it's like stick to what you're good at.
Yeah.
Being the butt of jokes.
Yeah, it's like it got kind of mixed reviews.
Yeah, but mixed reviews with critics, but then mostly positive reviews with audiences.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's usually when the critics are like, "Oh, this movie was terrible." I'm like, "I'm going to see that."
It's a win-win because if it actually is terrible, then you can laugh about it, and if it's not terrible, you can go, "I know better than the critic." I think a lot of the stuff critics are just out of touch with what the average person wants to see now. So they're like, "These movies aren't intelligent enough," and the average person's watching going, "Those explosions were cool." And when I say that, I'm including myself in those analyses.
Okay, I have a problem. I mean, I have a lot of problems, but
I have like 99 problems.
No, I figured it out. I had 2 screws and I thought I only had 1 hole, but nope, I have 2 holes. One on each side of my nose. One on
It's
each
not
ear.
funny.
No, I was thinking that the part cooling fan actually only held on by one screw, but it does not. That was really, I mean, it's 5:53 and I've just been kind of dorking around with this, and it's installed.
Print something.
Well, I have to wire it still, but
Print something.
I have to wire it. It won't print right now.
You notice that my printer appears to be printing.
It does appear to be printing. So what you did before that you also did again today, you just didn't do it right the last time.
Well, I went a little more ham with that the thermal stuff. The thermal compound. I gotta go put that on my processors now.
Never put it in there before, but so I recently acquired a 3060 GeForce graphics card.
Oh, that's fancy.
I was running a 1050 Ti. I now have a 3060 12 gig. I can't really.
Did you buy that specifically to play RDR at more gooder frame rates?
Yeah.
Like, I need to be able to pwn at maximum capabilities.
Yeah, I'm tired of the refresh rate being so low. So I'd been eyeballing a 3060 Ti, which was going to cost me like $540, and I was having a hard time choking that.
Having trouble tying one on. Are you frozen again, or you just? I think you're moving. Oh no, you're frozen again.
Yeah, my screen blacked out. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Um,
My brain told me you were just trolling me, and then it turned out you weren't.
Yeah, no, the internet doesn't want me to tell you this story. No, Amazon had an Asus. It's an i5. I can't remember if it's an 11,000 or a 12,000. Let me look it up so that I'm not telling you guys lies, because then I have to correct myself next week. Okay, it's the ROG Strix G10 gaming desktop, i5 11400. It had the GeForce RTX 3060, 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM, 512 gig SSD. Yeah, completely built, pre-assembled, blah, blah, blah. So I bought it for Zach for Christmas.
But then you stole the GPU.
Exactly what I did.
And gave him the 1050.
Exactly what I did. So, but did I tell you what I paid for the machine?
No, you did not.
Okay. That's the glorious part.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. So you said it was going to cost, you were looking at a 3060.
Yeah, for $540 for a 3060 Ti.
I'm going to say you paid $599 for the tower.
No, a little more.
$699.
A little more.
$899.
A little less.
$750.
It was $739.99.
I had to go with a price that made sense of like, well, it was worth it because I get all this extra stuff, and then I was like, maybe it was a really good deal. Like, not that's not a really good deal, but like,
yeah, I mean, so technically for $200, I got a motherboard, a processor, 16 gigs of RAM, a 512 gig SSD, a really nice case that comes with both a glass side and a solid side, like, so you can choose. And so his Alan King said it's over extruding. The computer that he uses is a 4000 series i7 that was used when I got it, and it went to Xander.
I'm using one of those in my project, so don't shit on. I mean, oh, sorry, don't poop on it too much.
Wow, that
God,
was twice in the same year.
that one wasn't as bad though. And I didn't finish pronouncing. I think I got 3 of the 4 letters out. So
Don't shishi on it.
don't shishi on it.
No, like, but for he's getting older, and he's now starting to get into
Roblox.
bigger video games, and I can't expect him to run Red Dead on that thing. I'm not letting my kid play Red Dead. That was a joke.
You're letting your other kid play Red Dead.
Yeah, well, he's a potty mouth anyway.
Worse than me?
I'm gonna tell you what. You ever get a chance to online game with that boy? He is, yeah, he's a potty mouth. I mean, he doesn't like drop the F-bomb and stuff, but just
Not yet. Give it time.
Oh yeah. Well, I know that he's used it. I've caught him using it, but just I don't know. I mean, he's an agitator.
So are you. You're the dadgitator.
Well, and then it's really funny because here we're playing online, and then people are like, "Oh, where'd your friend go?" or whatever. Like, we don't ever say like,
"That's my dad."
Yeah, that's my dad, and that's my kid. So it's just like it just goes. And then the other young man that plays with us, he's friends with Xander, goes to our church, and he said to me one day, he's like, I don't know what to call you, and I'm like, Glenn, and he's like, no, that feels weird, and I'm like, it's my name, and
Don't wear it out.
And he's like, but it just feels weird to call you by your name. I'm like, Mr. Glenn, like,
Mr.
Oh, excellent. Sorry, I just got really good news. My wife's picking up pizza.
Oh, that's good.
By the way, I do have to duck out right on time tonight because Xander is at his Sunday night thing and will need to be picked up.
You just want to hurry up and pick him up so you can come home and play Red Dead Redemption with him. Don't lie.
Hey, shut up. Stop calling me out so truthfully. No, he gets done at 7, and so I gotta zip over there, and then I have to take the other kid home too, who lives in the other direction. But
I don't want to jinx it, but I think we might have fixed this.
That would be nice.
Now I kind of feel bad for saying that I hate it. It starts jamming as soon as I show it any. It's like, no, treat me badly. Like, I'm gonna put a cigarette out on your heat bed.
You said treat me badly, and I was like, isn't that a song? But I was thinking of Kiss Me Deadly.
I was gonna say killing me softly.
All right, so which one of these wires is which? Oh, I guess the one with the ferrules on the end would be the hot end.
So the reason I was so mad that I ran into problems with this is, number one, very few hours on. Yeah, it's like I got it for Christmas last year, but for all intents and purposes, it's brand new. It's got very little mileage on it. The bearings in the part fan are already starting to go because it occasionally get that wah, like Waluigi yell. And I bought this thing with basically the sole and express purpose of, when I need to go somewhere and it's going to be helpful for me to have a 3D printer with me, I can grab this guy and go with it. And the first opportunity that presented itself where I had to go somewhere and I needed to bring it with me, it jammed and I couldn't get it working. And as a result, the stuff that I had to get printed while I was there didn't happen.
You know what's weird about that statement?
What's that?
Is that you think about taking a printer with you when you go places.
Well, especially when I'm going to visit family and stuff like that, because there's been so many opportunities where, like, for example, the one time I was up and my dad had a riding mower and the throttle handle snapped on it. And John Deere wanted like $120 for the whole assembly. Yeah, exactly. $120 just like you couldn't buy just the nozzle. So it was like or not nozzle, the handle plus the shaft it attached to, and then like the whatever you call that metal thread or metal wire that goes through that hooks up to, like they use for brakes on bikes and all that stuff. I don't know what that's actually
yeah.
called.
I usually just call them a brake cable.
Yeah.
Like even if it runs the throttle cable.
Yep. So it ended up being cheaper for me to print him one out of PETG and mail it to him than it was for him to buy it right from them, and he's still using that one. So
yeah, I don't ever think about like I'm going someplace and I'm going to take a printer. I mean, unless I'm going somewhere specific like Maker Faire or Murph. I've even gotten to the point where I don't really tell people I do 3D printing. One, because either people are like, "Oh, can you make me something?" Or you get that wonderful conversation where people are like, "I was thinking about getting into that," and you go, "Oh yeah," and they go, "Yeah, I do a lot of photography, and I'd like to make 3D pictures." I'm like, "Nope, that's not. Nope."
except for you can lithophane.
Right, but not. I mean, they're thinking like,
Yeah,
red and
no,
blue
I'm
glasses.
kidding. Yeah.
Yeah.
You take a picture of somebody, you push a button, bleep bloop, it's a 3D thing, and now I can 3D print, a life-size replica of that person.
So I can punch it in the face.
And that's if you're lucky that that's what they're doing with it.
Yeah, I'm liking this so far. I'm liking this a lot. I like the way that the wires. So, on the V6, on the V6 hot end, you've got your heat cartridge and your thermistor. Your Mr. Thermistor.
Hey,
and
mister.
then typically there is a connector on the thermistor, like right about here. So it would have been right here on this one. But that connector gets in the way. There's no room for it. It slams into the side of the X carriage. So you either have to get the Prusa specific one, or you cut that out of there and solder it back together. Just I don't know. The easiest way to fix that would have been put the connectors back further so that it comes out. You can still have the connectors, but yet they're not in the way. Well, that's exactly what they did with the Revo. The connectors are about 3 inches back. So I think that's pretty good thinking, them guys at E3D. I don't know how good that view is, but that's the view I'm going to give you for a little while.
I need to snag.
What's that?
I'm trying to snag a mini HDMI, not micro, but mini HDMI to HDMI adapter, because when I was cleaning, I found my old camera before I had the 4K one here. It's not an expensive one, but it works okay when the lighting's good. So I want to mount it sort of semi-permanently pointing down at the desk, and be able to have like dual camera set up. But its output is that mini HDMI instead of regular or micro. So
yeah, I ended up having to pick up two DisplayPort to HDMI, because all three of my monitors are HDMI monitors, and that new video card has one HDMI output and 3 DisplayPort outputs. So I had to live like a Neanderthal and only have 2 monitors all weekend until the adapters got there today.
Oh, and let's see. Brian said, but seriously, did you trade the cards? Did we address that yet? Because yes, he did.
What?
Brian said, but seriously, but did you seriously trade cards with it? Yes, he did. Mad Mike 8 just showed up. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Oh, with the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So Zach's 11 years old. He doesn't need a 3060. The 10 1050 Ti will run everything that he possibly needs. He's running on a what? I can't remember, but it's an RTX card, but it's much further behind than that. It's what Xander used to run on before he got his current monster machine. So yeah, if you think I'm a bad guy for doing it, so be it. I didn't necessarily buy him the computer. I bought him a motherboard, a processor, RAM, a hard drive, and a case.
And you're gonna throw in your old video card because you're a nice guy.
That's right. That way he doesn't have to use the integrated graphics. But what worked out was, Scott hooked me up with that deal from Micro Center. So I was able to upgrade my machine, which is a i7 8000 series, which that was going to go to Zach. And he's out in the garage right now jumping on the trampoline. So he was going to have an i7 8000 series, but my wife is running an i5 8. I think hers is an 8000. No, it would be older than that. It's probably a 4000 series. And
don't poo-poo on the 4000 series.
Well, again, I mean, it's just they've been around. So, and she only runs 8 gigs of RAM, which Windows takes more than half of that by itself. So it's a little bit of a dog machine. So this way she's going to get my old i7, not for Christmas. Not doing that.
That'd be funny though. Not gonna lie, I'd laugh.
She doesn't really care. Like, she couldn't give a crap less about computers. So, but no, she'll get my old i7, and then that one out there is getting a brand new machine.
We just got a donation in chat from Mad Mike 8.
Mad Mike laying down $9.99 US cents. Thank you, Mike. Greatly appreciated.
Much appreciated.
I don't know.
Every time you guys make a donation, it helps pay Glenn to ship me stuff from time to time.
once every 10 years.
Bob Carnes is nice enough to send me his roll of PETG printed solid, that Amiga 500. The design I was going to use it from, as of this morning, is too large to be printed with 1 kilogram.
Oh.
And I may have to just use something close that I can get here because it is prohibitively expensive to ship things across the border. I
agree.
Yeah. He was nice enough, though. He included a special gift when he sent me that filament that is definitely going to make its way into a video. I don't know if I should share what it was, or it is Star Trek related.
Oh, I was going to ask if it was really cool Garage Channel stickers.
No, you did. I already thanked you for those. In fact, I can show one probably right now. Funny story. I almost actually destroyed one of your stickers when I was working at a project because I didn't realize what it was. I was looking for something to use as a shim, and I pulled it out, and I was like, "This should." And then I flipped it over and like, "Oh, good thing I double checked before I did that."
No, if it works for you, let it fly.
No, because it's too difficult to get replaced.
It is. Those are the first ones that were ever distributed.
And they made it across the border.
That's right.
Here.
That's one of my favorite ones. Yeah. That's one of my favorite ones. I actually. So, all right. Here's a fun story. You know, I have a fun story for everything.
I love your Fun King stories.
That sticker. So I buy those from, I think it's Sticker Mule, which, I mean, not a shout out to Sticker Mule. Their stuff's not cheap, but they do these specials all the time. They'll email you and you'll get like 50 stickers for $29, and they're nice. So then it's worth it. But just to buy them outright, not such a great deal. That particular sticker, I have a big fan that I bought from Harbor Freight, and it's got the Pittsburgh logo in the middle of the grill.
Underneath one of those stickers now, I'm assuming.
Well, yeah, well, I had put a piece of black electrical tape over it because I thought, they don't sponsor me. Why am I going to give them credit? And so when I seen those stickers come up, I measured that thing and it was like the perfect fit, and that's why I ordered those round stickers.
I was working on a review for a new knockoff of the Raspberry Pi 400, which is the one with the built-in keyboard.
Okay.
And it came in a box, and everything on the box was like labeled, like printed into the cardboard, except for there was a sticker on one part of it. So I got curious. I peeled off the sticker, and there was a couple of things that had been scribbled over in Sharpie underneath the sticker in purple. So I'm sitting there with alcohol, like wiping the edge of the box off because I want to know what's underneath it, and it was just a wireless and a Bluetooth symbol.
Huh.
And it's like, I don't like, maybe they decide, we want our branding to be front and center in that spot, and it's like, but yep, that's my interesting story of the day. So
Does it have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth?
it does.
Do those symbols appear somewhere else? The reason that I ask is because to use the Bluetooth standard, I don't know.
That's probably why. Yeah, you have to pay. Yeah, you have
Right.
to pay to use their logo, right?
Yeah.
A licensing fee. That's probably what it is. I had to end up going back and edit the ending of that video because I finished the review, and then I was lying in bed last night at 3:30 in the morning, and I was like, oh, so I had done benchmarking on the Pi 400 and the Orange Pi 800 side by side, and I was like, well, clearly the Pi 400 won. And as I was lying in bed last night, I realized the 400 is a 4-core system and the 800 is a 6-core system. And the 6 cores on the 800 are not equal. The first two are 1.8 gigahertz, and then the other 6 are called small cores, and they're 1.4 gigahertz.
Interesting.
So then I got up and did the benchmarking again, but just with two dual threads, and the two are almost identical. They're within 0.01 milliseconds of completion of task. So I was like, well, they're a little more competitive than I thought, and also one can handle 6 threads at the same time instead of 4. But those even dialing it up to 6, those 6 end up slowing things down. So sorry, the 4 end up slowing things. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So.
Man, the lighting really sucks in here.
So I'm ahead on video production right now, which really makes me want to just release them all. But then, like, when things get, because like this was a non-standard week, so if I release everything now, it means I won't be able to keep my release schedule later.
Yeah. Well, and I have to get organized and get
back to playing Red
in the
Dead Redemption.
garage. I mean, I got to start making content again. I'm going to run out of Fummin's content. I mean, when the truck's done.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be in trouble.
Yeah, you don't want to lose momentum. You need to show that you're going to go from project to project.
Yeah. So, and I was a little bit nervous because, I released some non-Fummin's stuff. And like at first it didn't feel like it was doing very good, but actually it's doing fine. So, I mean, that's good. Like I didn't want to end up building my whole user base around Fummin's because I probably won't do another one, at least not for a while.
Yeah. And there is going to be like probably a little drop off when the Fummin's project is done. There will be people that subscribe just to see it through to the conclusion. You might get some of that.
Yeah.
So you prepare yourself mentally for the fact, like, oh, if I see a couple unsubscribes, it makes sense.
It doesn't bother me anymore. I don't care. I don't really do this for the people. I do this for me. I mean,
it's the best way to be.
I mean, I make the videos for other people because I already know what happened.
I was there.
But as far as like, yeah, I get excited when the count goes up and I watch it and it's fun. But like if I lose a couple one day, I don't care. You know, I don't want people to be in there if they don't want to be in there. So, not holding people hostage here.
Well, I won't say this is fixed until we get to the, because like I've had many a printer that you think's working well, then it jams when it's doing the upper section of the benchy, but that's usually a result more of dialing in the profile versus a build problem. So this one here, the profile has been provided by Prusa, so it's got everything it needs to succeed.
All the vitamins and minerals a 3D printer could need.
How often do you have to go bleep bloop your own comments because you realize that you quoted Derek?
Oh, I do it all the time. In fact, the Nissan video that I just did, the 8.5 hour one that I beat down, I used the term ice cube juice. And I said right in the video, yep, I got that from Derek from Vice Grip Garage.
That's for you, Mike. Mike asked which printer it was.
Yeah, I'm not doing very good with giving you guys camera angles here. I mean, not that there's anything to see. I'm literally just putting the wiring harness back in, but
Do you ever watch Pitch Meeting?
oh yeah. My
Did you
kids are
see?
absolutely addicted to that.
Did you see the one for Top Gun Maverick?
I don't know. Alexa, announce I'm still streaming.
He starts talking and the guy's describing, he's like, so there's gonna be a situation where these guys are gonna have to fly through this thing and do all this precise thing, and then they gotta hit this target. And the guy goes, oh, we're doing a Star Wars. And he's like, it's not a Star Wars, sir. It's just this thing's gonna happen. This guy's like, and then like he's gonna have to look within himself and he's gonna have to like channel this thing. He's like, is it the Force? And he's like, no, it's not the Force. We're not doing a Star Wars. Anyways, so Tom Cruise is gonna have to train these kids on how to do a Star Wars, and he's like, ah. That guy is very talented and worth
Oh
all the
yeah,
money he makes on YouTube.
yeah. Yeah, my kids love that.
Do you think he has trouble writing scripts? Actually, it's super easy. Barely an inconvenience. I just watch a movie, then see what the critics say, and then I turn that into funny things to say about it. Oh, wow. Wow.
So this is how extra long the wires are.
You should just braid them together and then just cram it in there.
Well, I mean, I can put new ferrules on this one. I don't think I have. Well, I can look. I may have. I think that's just a standard Molex connector.
I believe it's a DuPont connect. Actually, I didn't see what it was on the end of it.
Oh, there you go. DuPont. I'm sorry. You're right.
Oh. I stopped myself halfway through because I didn't actually get a look at the connector. I just assumed it was DuPont.
It's just one of those, the 2-pin.
Yeah.
Like a PC speaker, only a little bit smaller. But I don't think I have any of those. I have all kinds of JSTs.
JSTs have usually the same pitch between pins.
Yeah, but where this goes, it actually goes into a. It goes into a.
Yeah. There's an actual female connector there for it.
Yeah. So this
or
one,
male,
I have
whatever.
To just roll up,
transform and roll up.
Because when I did the upgrade kit on this from the 2, because this was a 2S. Yeah, I went from 2S to 2.5 to 2.5S. Somewhere in that swap over, there was a piece that you had to put in here that like split something out. So there's like extra crap in this box. And I don't know if anybody has ever designed a bigger, like a deeper box, like this way, because you can't go deeper this way. So deeper this way to house all of this. Because it's just a lot that's already crammed in there.
Sounds like a good job for you, buddy.
Well, yeah, I just have to see if somebody else did it first. No reason to reinvent the wheel.
I mean, every year companies come out with new types of tires, so they literally reinvent the wheel from year to year.
Well, I don't know if that's reinventing the wheel.
We don't discuss politics very much. Glenn and I both acknowledge the fact that we're standing on different sides of that central line.
Do you guys ever argue about politics? James seems well. I mean, he nailed it. I mean, there's no question there. Yeah, James and I are pretty much on the opposite sides of the political spectrum. We have had some great political talks off the air.
Yeah,
which is
definitely never during the stream because we don't want things to
Yeah.
devolve.
No, that's where they will absolutely. Well, yeah, because then we start yelling at each other and swearing, and it just no. James and I have never. I mean, but that's true. That's true on any time I've ever had a political discussion. At the point that the other person is getting angry, then the conversation is over. Like I don't need to go on any further. Like that's it for me. But I don't get angry on politics. Everybody gets their own opinion. That's the way the system works. So I'm a little bit country. He's a little bit rock and roll. Sergio said there are several larger cases for the Prusa. Oh, good. Once this thing is printing, then I will.
Well, that's the thing too, is that if you know that's the case, you can kind of just like maybe like tie it off outside the thing or whatever, get it printing, get the piece printed, and then like it's not worth the extra effort if you're just going to do that. Oh, you're working at it right now, aren't you?
What?
I can't see what you're doing because you're all small.
Oh, I'm trying to get the connector for the power.
I see.
It's like super, super tight. Brian said also I can say one thing. Oh no. Oh yeah. Glenn, that guy that does the YouTube channel, South Main Auto. I've been to his shop. He's a cool guy. Yeah, Erico. He's super funny too, and doesn't take crap. I mean, he's a very, like, he doesn't necessarily say wrong things, but he says things that you know what he's implying.
I will give you a heads up that we are 6:26. You said you had to duck out right at 6:30.
Right at 6:30, yeah. So this will not be done today. I'm gonna end up breaking this. I'm gonna have to get a bigger screwdriver. This is actually the screwdriver that came with the Prusa, and it's just not. It's not meaty enough to grab these screws. And whoever put this thing together, holy crap! Did they use a torque wrench?
Was it you? Did you do it?
No, that was factory. Well, maybe I did it. It was me. It was.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
It was absolutely me. There's no question. Yeah, so that's all right. I'll call it here. I don't need to print this week. Alexander's going to be mad because he's got a project that he wants to do. I might have to finish it through the week.
I mean, you've got the ANET behind you. It's ready to go.
No, what we're printing needs to be done on the Prusa. It's a big top secret. It's a big top secret project. You will hear about it though, I promise.
Yeah, Kay and I were just discussing how we're not big fans of daylight savings times anymore either. It used to be like, oh, I'm so thankful I got that extra hour of sleep, but then I'm becoming more and more cognizant of the fact that, first of all, I hate losing the hour of sleep in the spring. Number two, it still ends up messing up more even when you're getting that extra hour of sleep versus whatever else.
I don't ever get an extra hour of sleep. I just wake up an hour earlier.
Yep. I am moving away from that too, because it used to be like, well, no, I guess it's always been like that, because I'd wake up and I'd be like, oh, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, but I feel like I got a really good night's sleep, and it's like, well, because there was an extra hour. You're actually waking up at 8, but like that was the trade-off. It's like I slept as long as I actually normally would. It just made me feel like it was a better night's sleep because of that. And yeah, I get up and start driving to work in the darkness, and I come home in the darkness now. So,
well, they're saving that daylight for themselves.
Yep.
Well, Florida actually voted to get rid of daylight savings time. Now, I think the whole world should just, if we adjust the clocks by 1/2 hour, like right in the middle.
Yep.
But it would have to be a global thing.
Yeah, because it would screw up too many things if people.
Oh, it would screw up a lot of stuff if somebody was a 1/2 hour off. But yeah, Florida voted to get rid of it, and then like right towards the last minute, they were like, "Well, we're gonna wait maybe one more year." And it's like, why? It's gonna be the same next year.
Sad.
All right, well, let's start wrapping it up because I gotta go.
I do have content coming out this week, and my current release schedule is going to be a video every 2 weeks, and it's going to alternate between the channels. Eventually, I'll hopefully get it up to the point where it's a video every week, alternating between the channels. But for now, I'm being realistic about what I have the time to do and what I can handle.
Well, the 2-week schedule is working fine for me. There's been a few close calls, but I would like to say I will also have a video out this week.
You'd like
I haven't even started editing it. It might be a Red Dead video.
Good seeing you too, Mike. Hope you're starting to feel better.
Yeah, it was nice of you to pop in, Mike. No, it'll be a Funmans video most likely because I haven't really worked on anything else, and with Christmas lights now, that's where all of my attention's going. But again, I have at least 3 projects lined up to get rolling on. A couple of them are going to be slow due to funding. One of them is hopefully going to generate some income. So, but I've been getting good feedback as far as the Explorer overlanding videos. Like, there's a lot of people that are watching those that are interested in that. So I may be buying a off-road vehicle. Most likely it'll be a Jeep Wrangler because that's my favorite. And parts are so plentiful. But otherwise I got nothing.
Help control the pet population by having your kids spayed and neutered.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think because my brain's real foggy. So, but this is the point where I say thanks to each and every one of you guys for tuning in. Without you, these streams would be senseless because it would just be James and I talking to each other, and we don't do that. You guys think we're kidding, but we really don't. We don't talk to each other except for on these.
We went 2 weeks without really. No, that's not true. We chatted a little bit, but
tiny bit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you guys might think that that's a lie, but that is not. Glenn, does off-road mean parked in the garage? No, parked in the yard. All my stuff that's parked in the yard's off-road. But thank you guys. I really do mean it. Well, did you say next week you're not going to be here?
Next week I'm not here.
Okay, so next week James isn't here. There should still be a stream. I'll keep you guys posted on that, of course. Maybe I'll see if I can find a guest co-host. So if anybody's interested, Glenn with 2 N's at funking3d.com, and we'll see if we can get that set up. If I don't respond to you, it's probably because I don't like you. No, that's not true.
He doesn't like anybody. He responds to lots of people.
I hate responding to people. No, but special guest. So, but yep, that's it. Oh, Mitch said he's interested. That'll be fun. We haven't had Mitch on here in a while. I don't have anything else. You got anything else?
Nope.
One of these days, I'm just going to click the end broadcast button and not say it. I'll just be like, and just click out and not say it. It'd be the first time ever. Because as always, until next time.
Print on.